I have another shootout for you. Not that kind of shootout, no, this kind of shootout. Well, you see, I've got two number 6 4-planes, yeah? We do like a bit of foreplay, don't we? 4 planes, don't we? That we do. Well, you see, there we have, in the right corner here, we have the Record number 6 4-plane. I had this thing for a while now. And this one here, which is one that I gifted to my son, and he kind of had destroyed it, and I had to restore it, as you can see, in the current state it is in. It's working quite nicely now, to be fair, for this Axminster Rider number 6 4-plane. It's made in India or China or somewhere like that. I have to admit, it does rust quite quickly. I've noticed I've got a little bit of pit and I've got to clean off already. Now, the thing about it is, that's cheap, okay? They don't cost a lot of money. These things, second hand, are like rotten horse poo, but also they are expensive. Whether it be the Record, whether it be Stanley Bailey's or anyone like that. You know, I mean the proper old Stanley Bailey's, not that new shit they try to palm off on you. Yeah, you'd be better off actually with that. Or maybe one, is it Faithful? One of the Faithful, or was it Footprint? Faithful. One of the Faithful hand planes, which is probably China and India again, but they can be fettled into a good tool. Now, so could this one. Now, I have done a little bit of fettling on this one, but I need to do a bit more fettling. But between the two planes, now this one's got a sharp plane iron, and now that one's got a sharp plane iron. Let's see if that is actually a useful tool. A bit like me. Yeah, okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to start with the Axminster Ride. I'm pretty certain that's what it was. This used to be my father's hand plane. He never used it. He bought it and it just sat there. But yeah, I got after he died. You know, I inherited it after he died, and I gave it to my son, who, quite frankly, destroyed it. seriously bad it was. But now, all cleaned up and ready to go. Now, I have made a video of the restoration of this hand plane, and the link is somewhere on this channel. I might even put it in the description if I can remember, but I'm useless, so you have to bear with me. So we're going to take a few shavings, fairly thin shavings with each hand plane. Both of them had their soles waxed, because you've got to lube your tool, you know, that you have. And we're going to see which one I think does the better job. Now, I've got to bear in mind that this one has been pimped up. The Record has been pimped up with its Victor hand-forged plane iron, and this one is the plane iron that came with the actual plane. So, it ain't going to be as good. But let's see whether or not it's good enough in comparison to this Record. So let's place that there for a minute, and let's take a few shavings, shall we? Okay. Whenever you take your shavings for the first time, if you retract the blade originally, like for instance, put it in your cabinet or what have you, and you've retracted the actual plane iron or blade, or whatever you call it in your country, crikey, that's rough on the fingers, that old knurled nut is, they're sharp. But blimey, off grip. I retract the blade fully, so you just slide backwards and forwards without taking any shavings. Then, I introduce, yes, I do a bit of spooning with the plane iron, that we do. It engages with the wood. So I just increase it on the downward stroke. Always on the downward stroke, not as you pull it out. No, okay? So here we go like that, okay? So I can't help myself. All right, a little bit more until it starts engaging. Now, I'm not going to be doing this all on my knees, by the way. Okay, here we go. It should be engaging any minute now. Now, it's starting to engage. Okay. Now, the first thing that will happen is you'll probably start taking shaving off one side or the other. So then you have to skew the blade. So I'm going to get up now. Because, yeah, I've got no knee pads on. All right, here we are. Oh, God, I chopped my head off. I've got some of my wedding pictures. So, at the moment, it's taking a little skinny bit off the left-hand side. But that's a sign of a shaving. That's a good start, I would say. So now we need to skew the blade. So we can do it with a screw lever on the back here. So I made the blade point that way a little bit, or the back edge blade that way. Then this one will go that way, and then that'll go down deeper. There, that's the idea. And now it's not engaging. Effectively, it's lifted the plane iron out a little bit. A bit more on the old nut. There we go, a bit more. Still too much on the left. It's a bit wide on the left, which is a sign that I've actually skewed the blade on the right-hand side. So a bit more on the left, like so. I might have done it. Let's have a look. A bit too much on the... Oh, crikey. Now, some of these cheaper planes have a habit of this assembly moving as you're using the hand plane. That was going one way or the other, or the plane iron's retracting, you know. But when you get the hang of it, and you get in the right position, because remember, we always, engage the plane iron on the downward stroke. You don't release the plane iron and start using it. You've got to go release it, then you have to go 3 turns forward. So you're engaging the plane iron with the little stirrup here, you see. It's not bad shaving, nice and thin. Feels okay to use. It's not as long as a triplane. Now, that is as thin as I can get, but they're not continuous. They're not continuous width shavings at the moment. And the plane iron, well, the plane iron looks good. Because that'd be a sign that you've sharpened a ridge into the plane iron. But no, it's not doing that. Maybe it's just too thin for it. Oh, that's better. Still thin shaving. So it does produce quite nice shavings still. I can't remember how much these are. These are about £60 or something. They're not a lot of money. They're cheap as chips, but they do need some fettling. These cheap Chinese things. This is a rider, and also I have links on my website actually for the faithful hand planes. They aren't that bad. They're very similar to this actually, but they do require some fettling. You need to do it at TLC, and I do recommend changing the plane irons to even one of those Chinese ones that I have in this number 5. It says thicker. It's high speed steel. I think it's A2, but it's really nice iron actually. It keeps its edge. Right, now we're going to go on to the record in a minute. Once I've taken enough shavings off here, so we've got some to compare. So I'll put that over there. Bit jumpy. Try and engage full width shavings. I don't seem to want to. Let's try again. Oh, that's better. It's doing it now. So now we're getting full width shavings. Might be because I've actually planed a bit of wood at a bit of an angle with the other. I was doing some more videos with a narrow plane. I might have put a bit of a hump in the bit of wood, but now it's truing it off now. So they're getting full width planed shavings. So I'll put those ones over there. Move that out of the way. They're going over there. Okay. Right, a couple more. It's not as slippy, if that makes any sense. There's a wooden handplane. Right, so there you go. So we've got some shavings there now. All right, now we're going to have a go with the record number 6. There we are, which is here. This is a record number 6. Toted up it is, yeah. It's got a new tote, yeah, and also it's got a new knob. You know, you've got to have a new knob and something to grab it with. Yeah. Oh, crikey, that's a different channel. Anyway, let's carry on. This is a number 6 record 4 plane, which is slightly shorter than number 7. Funny that, isn't it? Now, if this produces different shavings to that one, there's a sign that the Chinese number 6 isn't actually creating a flat surface. It might be putting a bit of a convex or concave into the piece of wood. No, it's not too bad at all. Now, this is producing thinner shavings. But remember, that is the Victor hand-forged plane iron. You definitely get better edge on it. How thin that is. So, could you make this one behave like this one? Is that possible? I would say it probably is. Because the plane irons are set at the same angle. It's just the fact that this has got a better plane iron in it. That's a far superior plane iron in this record than what you get in the standard Chinese, or I can't remember if it's Chinese or Indian. Anyway, it's crap steel, you know what I mean? But it's still a good tool because it's cheap and it's affordable for people. You just have to be aware that you will have to do a little bit of work to make it into a really usable tool. Not straight out of the box. Don't make that mistake, because it won't be. Whatever people tell you. So yeah, this is definitely nicer. Far nicer. It really is. It's also lighter. It's lighter by 400 grams. So it'd be a lot better to use on a daily basis if it's your main tool, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't weigh as much. And it's so much more refined. It really is. So if you can afford to get yourself something like this one, this record, or a used one and dirt up, what have you, I'd go for that. Otherwise, you could go for something like this, which are cheap. Let's be fair, it is cheap. You could get something like that, and give it a little bit of TLC, polish the sole up, what have you. Make sure the mouth is uniform, which this one wasn't. And also there's another problem with it as well, which I've got to sort out. The cap iron here, which is a screw cap arrangement, goes too far over the actual chip breaker, which is a really stupid thing to do. So, just as long as if you know, you can deal with it, you can sort it out. And then you've got a cheap tool, you know. You might want to sort the tote out. This is the original tote. I just took the varnish off it because it was like horrible, like thick, yucky, syrupy stuff all over it. So I got rid of that. And now it feels nice in the hand. It's actually quite a nice timber as well. I don't know what wood that is, but some sort of tropical hardwood. So, it's actually quite a nice tool. A lot of the fittings are either brass, as you can see there, or in this case, that one's, I think that's got it's either chromed or stainless screw in the tote, because that's chromed plated there. So, but obviously the rest of it is just steel. But you do need to make sure you keep that lubed up. Have it a little rust, And steel from Asia, or iron from Asia, is not as good as, say, for instance, stuff that would have been forged at Port Talbot. Okay, they're going to electric arc. They're not going to be doing virgin steel anymore, so the blast furnaces are going down at Port Talbot because of political reasons, probably. But there you go. This isn't a political channel. So, shaving wise, the Record is superior, I would say, most definitely, without a shadow of doubt, to the Axminster Rider. But the Axminster Rider is a good tool still. Just not as good. A lot of it's going to be down to that. Plain iron. It really is. So you could pimp this one up to be almost as good as that one. That's what I would say. And that's what I would suggest. That I would. So it's time for me to go. Got to help the missus, because she's next door in the barn, aren't you, darling? She says yes. She's helped me clear out the next door barn. Because we're creating a space, we are, where we can make videos of pulling stuff apart. Oh, and somewhere for the laser to go. Yes. And she's coming with a handful of pencils, woodworking pencils she's found. I suppose they're handy, because they're pencils, but I don't use that sort of pencil anymore. I like the mechanicals. Let's have a look. Look out. Is there a bag of them somewhere? I know I've got loads of them. Oh, look. I've got 2 fez tools, okay? I have a fez tool domino and a pencil. I'll keep that one there, actually, for a laugh. And you can have those back. I don't need them in a minute. They stay in there. Alright, then it's time for me to go, so I say toodaloo, but if you want to boot the old like button, helps the channel, But also, we have a Patreon now, and if you want to be a member of our Patreon, for which I will be uploading stuff on there, I might even be doing actual dedicated videos as well for the Patreon, because I believe that you can do that now, and the link is down below. We're also going to be I've already started actually uploading patterns and designs and stuff like that for you to dip into as you please. Anyway, it's time for me to go, so to help the missus, So toodaloo. Gotta keep her happy, all her indoors, There'll be trouble though. Oh, crikey, can't afford divorce. You want the tools?